Hello guys and welcome to a live broadcast here. I am LEGIO España. This is Trolley. Say hello, Trolley.
Hello everyone.
So this is a 1v1 Wolf of Ichkeria versus LEGIO ITALICA's Edo Free. Sorry for any botched up name pronunciations there. This is the first game, or second game actually, of the Eagles Rising tournament that I am hosting. So this is the first game in the set of the best of two. We will be showing you both games as they play. I'll put the rules in the description below, as well as the link to the brackets for any of you that want to keep touch on what the tournament's doing. And there'll also be a link to our Discord if you want to ask the players any questions or just talk to some of us. I'm happy to do that. So we'll crack right in on to the builds for Egypt, which is played by Wolf of Ichkeria. We have 5 Levi Furios spears, as we can see. Very nice units there, very cost effective with their javelins. We have 3 Galatian Royal Guard, which is a very heavy infantry unit there. Not as good as Orsworn, but still pack a pretty punch. We have quite a few Galatian swordsmen, I believe. I believe he's brought 4 Galatian swordsmen, backed up by 3 Tarentine cavalry and 2 light cavalry, so he's gone very low on the cavalry, and he's brought a Royal Thorax swords as his general. Do you want to go through Parthia's build, Trolley?
Yeah, sure. So, skirmisher line, 4 Eastern Slingers, backed up by Hillman, and then main sword line, 5 Parthian swords, correct? 3 Persian hoplites, 2 noble bloods, 1 cataphract, and 2 armored horse archers and 1 noble horse archer.
It's very interesting he's gone for the noble horse archer instead of the cataphract.
Exactly.
There's a massive difference in the build here.
He has only 1 cataphract.
He does only have 1 cataphract, but he does have those noble blood cavalry. And the one thing he has the advantage of over Egypt right now is Egypt's cavalry right now is quite atrocious. He's got some light cav, I believe that's for the holding power. Maybe to chase off some of those more heavier horse archers, such as his general, with those normal horse archers and those armored horse archers, because I believe the light cavalry can catch them.
Yeah, maybe even the Tarentines.
Yes, and they can even throw some javelins back and do some pretty hefty damage to the noble horse archer general. Just to point out, let's just see what type of generals each player has brought. Wolf of Ichkeria has brought the strategist general, second wind and battle rhythm there for his commander in the middle of that gorgeous looking Royal Thorax sword unit there. And then for the Parthian player, Edo,
He forgot to pick a general.
he actually forgot to pick a general ability. That's not going to help him out in this already tough matchup. Just to let you know, guys, Egypt has been given a slight boost in this tournament. The basic rules are max 7 melee, max 5 same, the unit type. Egypt's been given a max 6 same and a max 8 melee to make them stronger against some of the barbarians that they might verse. Give them a little bit of an edge against some the Greek factions as well, as they lack the spear and the swords really, apart from the Galatian Royals, which are unbelievably great, but they are very expensive.
I really like the diverse army of Wolf. Like, it's really interesting, you know? It's like not your typical Egyptian build.
It's the sort of build you get from playing this game for a long time, and Wolf of Ichkeria is, as some of you may know that are actually into this game quite a lot and actually follow the tournament scene. It's a pretty big name, very renowned in the Russian scene, very, very good player. Probably one of the toughest, probably one of the strongest players in this tournament. So there's a skirmish line going on here, and the 4 Egyptian slingers are going to lose to these Eastern slingers because there's much more of them, and the Eastern slingers are just better. But we'll see how it goes. I don't think Ichkeria is just going to let his skirmish line get disintegrated. However, Edo is not microing very well with his noble horse archers and armored horse archers, and they're taking a lot of javelin volleys from these Tarentine cavalry, which is not what he needs to do right now.
Tarentines are taking hits as well, though.
Yes, but I would rather you see. All he's lost is 8 Tarentines. Noble horse archer generals lost 4 troops right now. Armored horse archers 1. Armored horse archers 7. So he's lost more of a higher quality and more expensive unit.
There's already one slinger gone. So
Yes, the Egyptian slinger has routed over here.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see these. Yes. So the Levi Furios line has gone up, and it's probably going to start firing javelins onto the Parthian place. Is a disaster for Edo, and they're facing the wrong
It's
direction.
really good.
So unfortunately, one thing Parthia has a strong point is its skirmishers, and he can't afford to lose these in the late game.
Wow, look at that Eastern slinger.
Route,
Like, wavering at
yeah,
60, man.
64 as well. But they seem to have stabilised. That's what happens when you get 120 odd spears throwing in your face. As you see by the dead bodies here, quite a few of them didn't make it. That guy there has 7 javelins in his face.
Oh, look at all the the Tarentines are doing.
The Tarantines are doing a great job, great micro. Some of them are taking some fire, but it's only one squad that's taking the fire. Well, all 3 of these are firing at different squads, so he's doing damage to different squads of the cavalry. Edo's only targeting one. He may and probably will be able to destroy that cav. However, by doing this, he's costing a lot of troops and a lot of missiles off his horse archers, as he really wants to late game to pick away those heavy Galatian infantry that doesn't have the best armor.
Watch out here. He doesn't want this part.
So Edo is going to do a charge, and basically Wolf of Ichkeria is going to send all of his Levi Fodio spear into square formation. This is very good. This gives them a nice boost to their gives them a very nice boost to their morale, so they can hold the line a bit better. And it's also easier for Wolf of Ichkeria to move through those lines still. As you see, he's moving his front line of Galatian Royal Guard in, and some Galatian swordsmen there. And we'll get a close up of that now into the combat.
Another day.
Meanwhile, like the left slinger routed.
Yes, Parthian cavalry is flanking a bit around the back, but it looks like unless he gets some more Parthian swords in there and some Persian hoplites, his line's going to disintegrate very, very, very quickly here.
Right flank is already gone.
Yeah, the right flank has already gone. However, he has got supporting troops of some Parthian swordsmen. They can probably take out the Galatian swords, but he's put them in shield formation, which means they're not going to get the charge. If they're going to brace, so they'll not do too bad against the charge, but Parthian swords could just do better generally. And it was a bit of a weird charge actually by the Galatian swords, not the Parthian sword.
I don't like that Edo is not using his cavalry. Like he's just standing in the back.
Yeah, like he's got a noble blood carve in Eastern Cartifact. If he moves it around the flank here, or even brings it down to here, trample charge, hit this in the side here. Galatian Royal Guard or not, a trample charge with Eastern Cartafacts is nothing. Not a lot of unit. Even from the front will just do damage. However, he is using his noble blood carve here to engage the one unit of melee units that actually isn't even engaged. The Galatian swordsmen have even got a charge off. The noble blood carve didn't get a charge. I think he tried to catch that light cavalry unit. So we'll see. And on top of that, the Levi Forio spears that are now pulling out from the field or throwing the javelins onto the cavalry, which is not what they want. They've got a pretty nice charge with a noble blood cav. Yes, on the left flank, the horse archers are being pretty much disintegrated. The general has gone. I repeat, the Parthian general has gone, and the armoured horse archers are pretty much just have been destroyed by a practically less expensive unit and inferior unit, I would say. But they've done their job. Tarantine cavalry are one of those main things that deal with Parthian horse archers. So your horse archers have that range, and you should always keep them at that range and send support cavalry to help take that out of some light missile units. So we finally the shield wall pointing at each other, which is quite strange. Got a nice rear charge actually into the back of that Galatian Royal Guard that quickly turned round, but the shield wall got a bit of a bug there. Eastern Cataphract being used now. Bit of a derp charge against the light cavalry. Spear levy with the Galatian swordsmen are going to be to hold more levy Forio spears, which are the one unit you want really to take on these guys at the moment when they're pinned or moving into combat. Egyptian general having a great time there against the Parthian swords, winning pretty nicely. However, he hasn't put them in shield wall, which is quite surprising. He'll do a lot better in shield wall, I would say, but he's decided to keep them out of that. As we see in the background, the Tarantine cav's going into melee combat, and he's just destroying the rest of the Parthian horse archers in the background there. Cataphract still kicking, but lost half the unit strength. And as we can see, Edo is not going to win this one unless he can pull something
Yeah.
from the bowels of Hades, but it's not
done,
looking
GG.
good. And that is a GG. The mass waiver is going to be happening here. GG, well played to both players. Edo is not out of the tournament yet. If he, even if he does lose his next game, this is a group stage, and there's plenty of games he can play to get himself into the next stage of the tournament. Wolf of Ichkeria is a very good player. Miss micro there was a bit of miss micro there by Edo, but overall relatively not too bad. Wolf of Ichkeria performed immaculately. The only thing is Royal 4X Swordsman didn't go into Shield Wall. Maybe he knows something about them I don't. I don't know a lot about Royal 4X Swords. You may know a bit more about them, Trolley, than I do.
Well, I can't imagine not putting them into shield wall is a disadvantage. Like,
But he just didn't need to, I suppose. He was
yeah,
winning
true.
that combat. He's only against Parthian swords at the end of the day. He's against a barbarian
Look at
unit.
those horse archers. They got
Yeah.
like,
They got
because of
absolutely
the Terrentides, they
destroyed.
didn't even
Yeah.
made
So
part of
just-
the battle, you know, like pretty interesting.
Very interesting game. Nice diverse army builds there. You don't usually see Parthia and Egypt go against each other. Very interesting game to be seen. Very enjoyable to watch. So we'll kick off to the next game shortly when Wolf of Ichkeria and Edo pick the faction builds. So are you looking forward to the tournament, Trolley?
Yeah, for sure.
Any big names
I
in there that
wonder-
you're interested in watching?
When the group stages are done, kind of want to see who advances.
Yeah. Well, it is the top 4 in the group that advance out the 6, so the majority of people, it will go from a 36 to a 24-man bracket, so it'll still be a pretty large event still to do. So it's going to be very interesting. Some very good games. I think this is Group B or Group C, I don't know off the top of my head. Group A is going to be very interesting with Swordsmith and Last Legion with Monstro in there. There's going to be some very ferocious games in there as well. Also against BOBI versus Wolf of Ichkeria is also going to be a very interesting one. We are hopefully going to try and cast. It is a very good matchup there. Two of the best players in the Total War community in Rome 2 anyways. Going to be fighting out against each other.
It was Group C, and I think Edo needs to get some wins because he's at the 6th place, so the last place.
Yeah, he's already lost against BOBI, but BOBI, like I said, he's getting his 2 hardest opponents out the way first. So we'll see what happens. Edo is now picking faction, so Wolf Ichkeria gets that counter pick and gets to pick. However, Edo does get to pick the map that he likes out of the map pool we have selected. With the Metacena, Rugion, Pyramids. Do you have that up for the rule set right now? Because I can't tab out because I'm recording right now. Pyramids, the Metacena, Rugion. I believe Alexandria. I can't remember. I think they may just keep it. They might just keep it at the Metacena.
Well.
Pardon?
Stonehenge?
Yeah, Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a east to west, I believe, only.
Yep.
So as we see, we're going to see another interesting matchup. We're going to see Carthage versus Massilia. 2 very interesting factions, and the one thing I want to know is Wolf going to bring an elephant? We'll see. So I can see his build right now, and as this is not live stream, this is just a live cast, so we can't actually talk about the builds while they're being built. So by the look of it, he's going to bring Carthaginian hoplites. We don't usually see that's a Carthaginian build, do we, Trolley?
Well, I really like them because they're really like people underestimate them because I think like if you look at the stats, well you can't now, but they have pretty good stats for the low cost. Like I think they even trade cost effectively versus Torix hoplites.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they lose because
they're
of
the
the
late
slight
Carthaginian
price
hoplites
difference.
as well, and they have a very nice shield value. And I seen him put a unit down. He's going to bring a unit of mercenary companion cavalry. So instead of that elephant, he's going to bring that very expensive melee cavalry, maybe to try and counter the Payas that Edo is likely to bring. Because he's bringing that mixture of Greek hoplites and the Greek cavalry and barbarian and medium melee infantry. To be very interesting here. He is also bringing some mercenary Scritari, or Scritarii, depending on how you pronounce it, which is also going to be some extra killing power, along with those Libyan infantry. So it's going to be a very interesting game.
I think it's pretty hard to make that companion cost effective though.
Yeah.
It's to get like really good engagements with it.
Well, as we see, Wolf of Ichkeria is a very strong player in the 1-2 scene. So if anyone can pull it off, it will be him, I think. See, I'm surprised he hasn't gone. I was thinking maybe a Elephant General, because on the line of javelins, I suppose the Levy 3 are a big thing. The reason why he probably hasn't brought the elephants, there's just too many javelins flying around with Massilia's barbarian units, maybe.
Yeah. Although he could go for the nobles.
Yes, he could have gone for the noble cavalry, but maybe he's decided that then.
I mean the noble swords.
Yeah, he
like
could have
the
gone noble
mercenaries.
swords. Yeah, he hasn't gone for the noble swords, which is going to be very, very, very interesting. He's going to have to use those companion. He's going to have to use his heavy cavalry corps, because this is a heavy cav corps for Carthage that we don't usually see here, with a Carthaginian general, 4 Carthaginian cavalry, a companion cavalry, 4 late Carthaginian hoplites. By the look of it, 3. Oh, he's changing it actually a little bit. He's going to get a Scritari cav instead of a Carthaginian hoplite, so he's making that strong cav build even stronger. Great use of mercenaries, I think, are going to be used in this this game, which is also Carthage's strong point overall. So I think we're going to see some very interesting gameplay from Wolf of Ichkeria. I can't see what Edo is doing, because if I click on him I won't even get to see what Wolf of Ichkeria is, but I assume he will bring in. What do you think Massilia will be bringing? I'm thinking some Massilian hoplites, Epeius. Yeah, your basic Levy 3 meat shield line. There's not really much.
Although, like, his Parthian army was pretty controversial as well. So
yeah, so we might see something. Maybe some Gallic hunters maybe anticipating that he might bring an elephant.
Yep.
So the game has started. So we have the battle in the Meta Center, Carthage versus Massilia, round two of the set between Wolf of Ichkeria versus LEGIO ITALICA Edo on the Eagle Rising tournament. So who do you think will win here based on what you've seen in our past game?
Yeah, I think Wolf, like, just his micro capabilities and like his build picks as well. Like his Egyptian build was really special, and I think this build is it as well.
Yeah, it's a very controversial build. We know the army that Wolf of Ichkeria has brought, so I'm just going to hop right over and let's have a good look at what our friend Massilia is bringing to the field. So, at the left flank we have 2 Massilian Thurios spears, very nice, Thurios spears, slightly different to your basic Greek. I believe they have less missile and slightly less armor, but I believe they do have a stronger melee attack when they get into that fight, which is also very thing. I think the javelins are the same. I believe the defensive stats are slightly decreased. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Massilian hoplites. Pretty basic considering you're playing as Massilia. You'd always want a decent line of Massilian hoplites. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Axe Warriors, which is very good. Personally, he's done a good job bringing the Axe Warriors instead of the Celtic Swords, because there is going to be some heavily armoured Carthaginian units in this field now. We've got the Libyan hoplites, which have a very nice armour. Scritarii don't have the great armour, so they won't be as effective against the Scritari or the Scritarii, however you want to pronounce them. However, he has brought a lot of late Libyan hoplites, and he's brought a lot of late Carthaginian hoplites, and they will do a really good job of dealing with them, because you want to make sure you get them out their way quickly. That's his main line. If you can cripple that main line of Carthaginian hoplites, I don't think Carthage can recover very well from that, unless it uses his Scritarii very well. Before the game gets fully into gear, we'll have a look at his skirmish line. Pretty basic, 3 Celtic skirmishers, which is very interesting. Carthage has not brought any skirmishers, so he's going to want to get up there quickly and get in Massilia's face. So
like
we'll
one-on-one, I think Massilia has the edge, like one
Mm.
on one.
Yeah.
Main line versus main line. I think Massilia has the edge.
Also, cavalry, as we suspected, we're going to see 3 Massilian cavalry. Basic cavalry. Though I do think they beat Carthaginian cavalry in a one-on-one engagement because their melee stats, as we see here, are really good. They get a 15 bonus versus large, which I believe is better than your Carthaginian cavalry. Yeah. I think the armor is slightly better for the Carthaginian cavalry, but the melee stats and the weapon damage
I
are.
think Carthaginian will win actually. It's just the sheer armor, like
It
35
depends.
armor.
It depends on the charge, I think, and how it all sets out. Because the melee stats, I've seen it become pretty close sometimes. It goes either way. We'll see. The Hippeus Lancers all need to be used very well. It's his general. He needs to make sure he uses them correctly, and he doesn't throw it away. We'll also look. He's also forgotten to pick a general's ability again. Unfortunately, Edo has made that mistake again. Carthage has brought Strategist General. I couldn't see them for a second. I'm like, has he bought anything? So he's bought his Strategist General. I don't think Strategist is a good one for this one. I think maybe Ray's Bally and Rally would have been better. He's got no Barbarian units that have Headhunt. He's got no units that require the Trample ability. I don't think Companion Cavalry have an ability, do they? Let me find this Companion Cavalry. It's on the right flank. No, they don't. They have edge. They have the square, not square, flying wedge formation.
To be fair, like strategist general can be really powerful late game when
all your units are
all
tired.
units are exhausted and stuff.
Very well. Yeah, as well. And there's not a lot of heavy hitting Massilian units. As we see, he has the units that will beat him, but his main killing power is he's not his axe warriors. I think it's his Massilian hoplites. And they don't kill spear units. Never kill units quickly because they're spear units, and hoplites very heavily armored, slow moving. I like it how he's coming on 3 fronts here. He's got his main Carthaginian hoplite line here with his one Libyan. We're going to push the centre. He's got his very heavy cav line with his Libyan infantry. So he's 1 Libyan infantry, 2 mercenary Scutari. And another Libyan on this side, going to flank this side. And he's got the remainder of his army, which is 2 Libyan infantry and his last Scutari with a Libyan, 2 cavalry. So his heavy flank is looking to be the right flank. His main holding power, he's probably going to want to hold up all these Massilian hoplites in the centre, which is what Edo does not want. Axe Warriors are a good unit, but they will lose to a Scutari, I'm sure, because that Scutari charge and the sword, I just think they would win against a mercenary Axe Warrior unless the Axe Warrior is supported pretty nicely.
To be fair, I think his strategy is like engage at the flanks, and then when his Massilians and Axe Warriors wants to engage, I think he's gonna pull back so that he can charge with his cavalry in the back of those units and then engage. And I think that's what that companion is for, charging in the back of those Massilian hoplites.
Definitely.
Not sure though.
He's bringing the shoot around here for a large flank. Celtic skirmishers are firing, I believe. Nope, they're not firing. There's Celtic skirmishers, not Celtic slingers. So he hasn't even bought slingers. I don't know why he said slingers. He's bought some jabs. I'm presuming that's for the anticipation of the enemy elephants, but there was no elephants. Good javelin volley by the Libyan infantry on the Massilian cavalry, as you spotted there. Killed 9 men. However, he does have that unit in the back lines, and he's going straight for the Massilian's general. Straight for the Carthaginian general. Sorry.
Right flank, they're engaging.
Yes, the Libyan infantry getting a nice clean charge on 1 Massilian hoplite. However, the Axe Warriors did intercept the charge from by the other Massilian hoplite. However, those Massilian hoplites have a very nice charge bonus, in my opinion, and I think they would do better charging the enemy cavalry, charging the enemy infantry.
Great charge.
Nice charge, nice clean knockdown here. But however, the Axe Warriors are throwing their javelins pretty nicely actually into the Scutari cav. And this Scutari cav has actually really hurt, has been really hurt. And the Axe Warriors are going in now against the Libyan infantry. So I believe that may come better out for the Massilian player. General of the Hippeus Lancer being dragged into this engagement here. This is one engagement
really
he
bad
does not
engagement.
want to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
He could beat the cavalry, but no, he couldn't beat the cavalry because it's a mercenary companion, and he has on top of that spear units to assist. He needs to get his. He needs to sacrifice the Massilian cav, get his general out of there, or he's not going to have any hard hitting power. And in the meanwhile, the majority of his Massilian line is just holding still. He doesn't need his axe warriors there. His axe warriors, his Massilian can deal with the Carthaginian cav. Carthaginian hoplites easily. He needs to send his axe warriors to support his flanks, or they're just going to crumble.
Like the main line is just to stare down, really.
Yes, he could.
Like
Yeah, he needs to push in the centre. I
yeah,
think
exactly.
there's nothing really stopping. There's nothing really killy in the centre, and the far left flank has broken. Far right flank is struggling to hold. However, with the Hippeus Lancer, the Celtic skirmishers going into melee combat. Let's get a zoom in here. So Max Warrior is going to melee combat over here. It's as we call it, a bit of a clusterfuck on the right flank there. In the centre, the Massilian player is charging, and he's trying to push. Carthaginian hoplites going to charge the Massilian hoplite. Massilian Axe Warrior's got a weird charge on the hoplite. I believe the charge got interrupted. Oh, I accidentally clicked away from the field. Are you there with me, Troy?
Yeah, sorry.
Yep, the Carthaginian cav hitting the skirmishers, and it's not looking good for Edo. His army's being completely wrapped up. Axe Warrior valiantly trying to fight on three fronts here against just an underwhelming force. Red.
The charge of the Massilian into the general, kind of big.
Yes, very big unit. Massilian cavalry will not win against the general's bodyguard with that late Libyan hoplite in support there. On its own, yeah, it would beat the general's bodyguard, and I believe it's a last-ditch effort attempt to try and hurt the Carthaginian morale. But even if the general did die from the Carthaginian, the army's winning too well. I believe that no units would rout. The Massilian hoplites doing alright actually on the right flank against the Carthaginian cavalry and Carthaginian hoplites. That Carthaginian cavalry could do to keep on cycle charging in and out, which I believe he's going to be doing now. Pretty much the left and the right flanks are just mopping up business now. A couple of areas of resistance in the centre with those Massilian hoplites, which you would expect. They are very heavy spear infantry, Massilian's finest units, and the very nice unit here. We'll get some more zoom in action with those glorious companion cavalry there. One of them just got knocked down by an axe warrior. It's glorious. He did. How many kills did he get on this companion? 113 and lost just under half the unit. He did get them on decent units. He has got a chevron. I believe they were used well. I don't necessarily think they were needed personally, but he decided to bring them. It's a nice unit to see on the field. That's not usually brought in there. Some good rear charging with the companions there into the back of the Massilian hoplites, which he is using in spear wall, which is going to give them lasting chance. Massilian hoplite getting crunched on the right flank on red morale. I personally don't know how it isn't dead. Massilian general, I believe, has died a bit. Hasn't died, but I believe has fled the field. So until he leaves the field fully, that general dead bonus won't kick in or has gone kicking until it's on the field. It's just too much now for the Massilian, and I believe it's going to be a mass rout any second now. I reckon the one unit that'll put up a fight is the Massilian floating spears, maybe on the top left. They're doing a. We didn't see much from these actually. They did a really good job by the look of it. So all the dead cavalry, Carthaginian cavalry here. So it seems to me that they killed a Carthaginian cavalry over here. But that is Carthaginian, that is not Massilian, that is Carthaginian, isn't it? Yeah. And I think there's a mixture. I'm not sure. Up here. See, we don't. Yeah, I believe the. Yes, that is the Massilian general dead there. So this Massilian hoplite, this Massilian forest is holding out. And this is going to waver now. And that is the end of the two games between LEGIO ITALICA, Edo and Wolf of Ichkeria. Thank you both for playing in this event. It's very fun games to watch, even if they were a bit one-sided with Wolf of Ichkeria, but he's a great player. It was to be expected. Wolf of Ichkeria has a very big reputation in Rome 2 for being a brutal player. And as we see here from the results, a brutal player he was. He was very smart with his faction picks. He knows once he uses it in this group stage, he can't get it back. He hasn't gone for any heavy factions. He's gone for Carthage and what was his other faction he played with last game? Was it? I have Egypt. Yeah. So he's used 2 lower down factions. It's been a GG's all around, and I'll thank you again, Trolley, for co-casting this with me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hopefully,
Thanks.
hopefully we could do some more of this in the future, and there's will be plenty more games to come, guys. So other games are going to be on Bobby BG's channel, Legio, Italica's own channel. They've contributed nicely to the event. Thank you to them. And GRANITOR Total War will be hosting a few of them, and I will also post a link to all those channels in the description below. And for me and Trolley, we wish you all goodbye, and we'll see you in the next fight.